Liberty Valance, the toughest man south of the picket wire. Next to me.
It's Sunday morning on CBS, and here again is Charles Osgood.
That's John Wayne, the Duke, at his no-nonsense best in the 1962 film, The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. For fans who can't get enough of his movies, there'll be an opportunity later this week to acquire one of his personal keepsakes, as John Blackstone is about to show us.
We knew him on the big screen as the cowboy, the co-pilot,
Hold yourself, you yellow. Fall back!
the colonel.
Fall back! Keep moving!
But the private John Wayne stood just as tall as the characters he played.
Life with him was, at least for me, was an adventure.
Ethan Wayne is the little boy in these home movies, John Wayne's youngest son.
We didn't live in Hollywood. We lived at the beach. We didn't have bodyguards. You know, if we heard noise on the dock, we'd get guns and we'd walk outside and we'd say, "Who the hell's out there?"
John Wayne was, and 32 years after his death, still is one of this country's most popular actors. In a poll just this year of America's favorite movie stars, he ranked third after Johnny Depp and Denzel Washington.
John Wayne was not only the most important film star of the 20th century in America, he was actually one of the most important Americans of the 20th century.
John Powers is film critic for Vogue magazine.
You better start packing a handgun.
He defined an entire sense of manhood, authority,
Out here, a man settles his own problems.
and powerful control of self in the situation that people yearn to have protect them and yearn to be themselves.
Now, for the first time, those admiring fans have a chance to take a little piece of John Wayne's history home with them. Personal items his family has stored for decades will be sold at a public auction later this week in Los Angeles. What compelled you to start selling your father's things?
I just thought it was a natural to let some of this go out and live with people who will really appreciate it.
There are letters from famous friends, scripts, and costumes. The outfit from McClintock, the cap from The High and the Mighty, an eye patch from True Grit, the 1969 film for which he won his Oscar.
I didn't think I was going to get excited about this thing, but you get all gooey.
At an auction preview in Dallas, fans still speak of Wayne with reverence.
Oh, I love John Wayne. Love it. I mean, just, I watch the movies. I can say the script before he does. I knew all the scripts.
He does do that. He finishes the lines.
Fill your hands.
Fill your hand, you son of a bitch!
Ethan's brother, Patrick.
If you had told me 30 years ago that my father's celebrity and popularity would be as big as it is today, I would have said, you're crazy.
Wayne often took his family on location, sometimes even got them roles in his films. You were in a movie with your dad. How did that happen?
He came in, he said, "We're going to Mexico. You're going to be in this movie. You got to wear that outfit."
The film was Big Jake.
Run! He'd say, "Now go over there, and you're scared because this guy's got a knife. He's going to come after you, so you be scared over there."
I'm scared.
So am I. But don't let them know it.
Born Marion Morrison and nicknamed Duke after his pet dog, John Wayne starred in nearly 200 movies. With his distinctive style, he came to embody the American hero.
Let's go home, Debbie.
In films like The Searchers, considered by many the greatest Western ever made.
John Wayne was actually a great screen actor. There's a way in which he just walks so beautifully that you love watching him do it. You know, he looks so comfortable carrying a gun, you just admire that. The way he takes charge in a situation is reassuring and beautiful and nice.
You're indestructible. Well, stick close to me and maybe a little of it'll rub off on you.
His characters were pretty uniform. Gruff, take charge, men of action, and simple values. His personal life was more complicated. 3 wives, health issues, saddled with financial troubles. and his patriotic values and conservative politics made him one of the most polarizing figures of his time. He was a hawk on Vietnam.
I think we should have won it about 4 years ago at about a quarter of the loss of men and had the respect of the world. Instead of that, we pussyfoot around, and now we're trying to get out of it without being a disgrace.
Wayne visited the war effort in Da Nang.
How are you? All right.
And the anti-war effort at Harvard University. He arrived there on a tank, but opted for the charm offensive.
You look at yourself as the fulfillment of the American dream?
I don't look at myself any more than I have to, friend.
But many today still look at Wayne as the very model of American manhood.
You can look at presidential candidates, they run as if they're John Wayne. For example, Governor Rick Perry from Texas. The way he carries himself, his whole style, is very much steeped in an idea of the cowboy that comes out of John Wayne.
Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, the Green Beret.
Got one of those in the auction.
Yes.
Wayne's family is selling only part of an enormous collection. Some things are just too precious to part with. The Presidential Medal of Freedom, the Congressional Gold Medal. And it just says John Wayne American.
Yeah.
Nothing more needed to be said, somehow?
Nope, I think he'd be very happy with that.
Ethan was 17 when John Wayne died of cancer at 72. You drove him to the hospital? Is that right?
Yeah. He came in one night and he wasn't feeling well, and he said, come on, boy, you got to drive me to the hospital. I don't think it ever registered to me that he wouldn't come out. He came out of everything.
When Ethan Wayne lost his father, millions of Americans lost their hero.
Well, come to see a fat old man sometime. Yeah!
But John Wayne seems not to have lost his power to inspire.
Yeah!